welcome to Entrepreneur Central. I'm your host, Marjorie on 1065radio.com, coming to you live every Wednesday from 12 noon to 2. And today we have another great show. We're talking about the health care business and the status of, what does this business look like? What do we do? How promising is the future or the forecast for the healthcare industry? And today we're going to talk about, we have several guests that are going to come on and talk about specific things. We're going to be talking about the Affordable Care Act and how it affects your business. We're also going to be talking to a nurse that's already in business and how her business is impacted or how she's being able to impact and influence filling a gap in her industry. We're also going to be talking about the tangible health care. That means home health care, nursing homes, those types of things, and what that business forecasts look like. So we got a lot to cover in the next 2 hours. We're also, of course, going to be doing our roll call. And if you're not on roll call already, again, shame on you. But if you want to be on roll call, you want your business advertised with some free promotion, then definitely go to eCentral411.com and go to the contact us page and provide us with your business information. We will go ahead and get your logo, your information, so that we can promote you. And that's what it's all about. It's free promotion. You can't knock that. Now, if you're looking for even more promotion, you want to advertise your company, 1065radio.com has advertising packages for as low as $8 per spot. You can't get that anywhere. So if you're looking to broader than our show once a week, you want everyone and all the 1,000 markets around in over 100 countries that 1065 Radio broadcasts in. If you're looking for that type of exposure, then you need to reach out to advertise at 1065radio.com. I'm sorry, advertise at 1065radio.com. Now, if there's somebody that needs to understand or hear about the healthcare business, they're in the healthcare business, already doing business, or want to hear information about how you can help your small business, then tune them in to 1065radio.com online, or you can download the app. It's on the Google Play Store. It's 1065radio.com app, or on Apple, it's the TuneIn Radio app, and then you look for the station 106 Live Radio. So let's go ahead and get into it. I have some information about the healthcare industry. So the U.S. output for healthcare sector, that includes physicians, dentists, hospitals, home health care, nursing homes, and daycare services. The forecast is, there's a forecast for it to grow at an annual compound rate interest of 6% between 2013 and 2017. The trend of accountable care organizations, and these are networks of hospitals, physicians, and other providers that coordinate patient care. This industry, or this segment, is expected to rise in participation from hospitals from currently 18% to over 47% of hospitals that are expected to participate in the accountable care organizations between 2013 and 2018, up to 47%. The healthcare business intelligence market, that's BI or business intelligence, is expected to grow to $4.7 billion by 2018. And this includes reporting, monitoring, applications, and other technologies like the cloud and mobile for end users, for hospitals, clinics, accountable care organizations, and payers. And if you're looking to invest your money, or you're trying to look for stocks that are healthy and are looking to thrive and grow, then look for stocks in the healthcare industry. Healthcare-related stocks, look at business intelligence resources, again, like cloud and mobile business intelligence companies. This has a great market for potential because of the global mobile usage by the healthcare community and rising demands of hospitals and health systems for more accessibility, cheaper, flexible, agile, and scalable forms of information. In addition, the healthcare sector is considered to be what's called a defensive market. And this is due to the fact that it produces services that are largely essential. Now, there are three powerful long-term trends in the healthcare industry that's driving revenue growth. Number one is our global population is aging, and this requires all manner of support and healthcare-related services. Number two, we have an emerging middle class in not only in the United States but in developing countries, and that equals more money spent on healthcare. And then we also, number three, have innovation, especially in the biotech industry. So if you're looking to invest and you're looking at how can I enhance my investment portfolio for personally and for my business, look in the healthcare sector. Additionally, in the improving employment picture that in the United States, that means lower unemployment rates, drives medical service utilization. This includes doctor visits and hospitalization admissions. Employed people tend to visit doctors more often and opt to have elective procedures. Again, more growth for the healthcare industry. Pharmaceutical companies are also likely to benefit from fewer patient expirations. That means that patients are enduring. They're still going to the doctor, they're still getting prescriptions, and that will increase. In 2015, the pharmaceutical companies posted dramatic growth, and this was this is partly because of the release of the new hepatitis C drug, but 2016 should experience the same annual growth explosion as smaller pharmaceutical companies produce new products. That means the smaller revenue base in specialty drugs makes that a successful new product because you have less overhead. So it's a greater impact on sales and earnings. So if you're looking at the healthcare industry and wondering, is there a major growth or major future for the healthcare industry? The answer is yes. And what we're going to learn today is how does the Affordable Care Act play a major role in that. There's a major role in the accountable care organizations due to the Affordable Care Act. Because there's more individuals that are now covered, there's a greater number of coverage. That means more people are actually able to go to the doctor. The other key ingredient to healthcare growth is that leading up to our U.S. presidential election, you'll notice there's vehement campaign speeches that are directed towards pharmaceutical companies, because pharmaceutical companies are showing major growth, major earnings, and so this may impact how the rates of pharmaceuticals, how they're produced, and also may increase the market for smaller pharmaceutical companies versus the bigger or the larger companies making such great earnings and revenue share. So the healthcare market has amazing opportunity, and the projection going into between 2015, 2018, and beyond is huge. So we have a great opportunity for growth in the healthcare industry. So today we're going to talk about that and how that impacts you as a business owner. How does that impact you as an employee? How does that impact business overall, entrepreneurs overall? The majority of us, majority of companies have less than 50 employees. I would say the majority, actually, the statistics say most companies have 2 to 5 employees. That's just most employers across the United States. And because of that, you have smaller bases of individuals that generally, don't qualify for those larger group plans, and they don't see the benefits of the larger group plans, but there are options. There's opportunities and options. And our next guest is actually going to talk to us about that. We're going to talk about the Affordable Care Act, what that means, what that offers, and how do I take my business to the next level and make sure that I'm not overrun by costs or expenses for my medical coverage for my employees. We'll be right back, and we'll be right back with our guests.
I need you louder in the studio, though. I need you louder in the studio.
What is the purpose of human life?
Yes.
Or in other words, why life?
It's
a question. When it comes to life and existence, you never ask why. When it comes to fundamental existence, you never ask why. Because if you ask why, then I have to tell you a story. When I say a story, even if it's a real story, a real story, whatever I speak, if it is not in your experience, it is just a story. The only option that you have is either you believe me or disbelieve me.
You can go ahead and sit right here.
If you believe me, it doesn't get you any closer to truth.
All right.
If you disbelieve me, it doesn't get you at all.
All right,
so you never ask why.
Come in.
Right now, you're here with life. Why such a question has come? What is the goal of life? Because the process is not enough.
Oh, no.
Yes?
Okay, good.
The process of life is not enough somehow. Suppose you were bursting with ecstasy every moment of your life.
Like I said,
such a question would never come. What is the goal of life?
Actually, I'm going to have you introduce your company.
To live is the goal of life. To live and to live totally. To live totally does not mean party every night. To live totally means when you are here, you must experience all aspects of life and death. Whatever this is.
Tell us what you do. And then we're going to get it. And I really, my basic question.
You must experience what this life is totally, isn't it? Before you go, you must experience.
Now,
if you do experience that, then such questions will never arise in your mind because that's not the way existence is.
But that will get us going into.
Well, you did a great job this time.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's up to you. In a world where we're taught to look outside for answers, for a job that will make us happy, for money that will make us happy, the answer is within. We already have it. We already have the answer, but will we unleash it? Will we give it? Will we own it? Will we truly reinvent ourselves to become the people that we're capable of becoming?
I love it.
What you need?
Welcome back to Entrepreneur Central. I'm your host, Marjorie, Way on 1065radio.com. Again, we're talking about the business of healthcare. And again, this is a really important topic, I think, for businesses. Really important topic for businesses because it impacts us all. With the new law, with the Affordable Care Act, that I know gets bad publicity, but it's a really good thing. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest. Welcome to Entrepreneur Central, Quentin.
Oh, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
Oh, and you have a wealth of information to share today.
Yes, I do.
Right? Okay, so introduce yourself and your company to our audience.
Oh, wonderful. Well, my name is Quentin Moses. I'm an independent agent with Health Markets.
Talk a little louder.
Oh, my name is Quentin Moses. I'm an independent agent with Health Markets, and my email is QuentinMoses@healthmarkets.com, and I can be reached there. But number one, if you're doing anything in health insurance, get an independent agent, okay? Because the health insurance companies pay us to help you. They don't pay you to help yourself. Okay? And they will not send you to a competitor if they have a better deal. So we'll start there.
Okay, good. So tell me, okay, what does Health Markets specifically do? Let's focus on that first.
Okay.
Specifically, what does Health Markets do, the company?
Well, what we are, we're the largest independent agency for individual health insurance and small group, and by definition, 50 employees or less. That's very specific. 50 employees or more, it's a different group. So if you have less than 50 full-time employees, you do not have to provide health coverage.
Okay.
You want to because you want to retain
right.
good
Good
clients,
retention.
but you don't. If you have more than that, then you have to pay a penalty if you don't offer. So I think in this case we're really just talking about, the solo entrepreneur up to about 50.
Which is the majority
99% of everybody in business. Right.
Exactly. Okay, so basically, tell us about one thing we don't know.
Okay.
Is we really don't understand what the Affordable Care Act is.
Okay.
And so tell us basically, what is the Affordable Care Act?
Oh, okay. Well, the Affordable Care Act is, you have to understand that 80% of the people in the United States have group coverage.
Okay. Through their employees.
Through their employees. So they have it through work, and they've always had it through work.
Okay.
But I think with the advent of technology and things like that, more people have gone into their own business, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, okay, I have to get health insurance.
Right.
Now, up before the Affordable Care Act came into business, really before 2010.
Yes.
And you went to get your own policy. There were certain things that were, first of all, if you had a pre-existing condition, you couldn't get it.
You weren't going to be covered, right.
And they didn't cover maternity and a whole bunch of other stuff that you took for granted. But if you decide to go out on your own, like many people listening to this broadcast, and you say, well, I want to set up my own business, and they say, oh, but I'm sorry, I'm a diabetic. Or guess what, my wife wants to get pregnant. Well, guess what, we're not going to cover you for anything.
Right.
That's why it was $80 a month for a plan, because it didn't really cover too much.
Exactly. Okay.
So the Affordable Care Act said, okay, let's bring everybody to the same level. Now remember, it's really only addressing the 20% of the people who did not have health insurance.
Oh.
So the other 80% should even be listening.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So let's look at the 20% who didn't have health insurance. Half the people, they had plenty of money but bad health, so they couldn't get it.
Right.
The other folks had good health but didn't have the money because it wasn't affordable, so they couldn't get it.
Right.
So the Affordable Care Act is designed to affect those 20% of the people in the population. That's what it's designed to do.
Okay.
Okay?
Not all of the other extra stuff that we hear, and this is designed to kill business and, kill people and all of the other crazy stuff that we hear.
Well, I spent 20 years on Wall Street, and what I learned in that time is always follow the money.
Yes.
So rather than follow politicians, I follow the money.
Yes.
So you have to ask yourself, how come the health insurance companies are not complaining? How come the health insurance companies are on board? How come we've had $100 billion in merger announcements ever since the fall with major health insurance companies if it's so horrible?
Exactly.
Right?
Okay.
And how come their stocks are up 400% ever since ACA came?
Absolutely. Great point. Yeah.
Beautiful points, of which none of the politicians address.
Of course.
Not to mention the fact that, according to Office of Management and Budget, the projection of the healthcare budget is actually declining healthcare costs, because of the Affordable Care Act and the impact it's having on healthcare in general.
Yes.
Right? Those are all facts.
Right.
Okay? So, the reason is because if you sit and you look at the whole healthcare marketplace, the cost, what we were paying for healthcare was getting so expensive that in 20 years the whole GDP would be consumed by healthcare costs.
Right.
So, what you talked about before, accountable care organizations basically, instead of charging whatever they want, because you don't know, you have no idea what it's going to be, ACA says, well, guess what? You actually have to keep people healthy. And if you keep them healthy and have coordinated care, we'll pay you a bonus for keeping people healthy. That's essentially why accountable care organizations came into being, and why you're seeing the growth, as you just said a second ago. But let's address your clients. So if you're a single person out there, or you're working with your spouse starting a new business, and all of a sudden, now 5 years ago, if you guys had heart condition or cancer or anything like that, you'd be working for your company for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
So now you don't have to do that anymore. You can go out on your own. But costs might be a factor. You're making a nice salary, which is going to drop to zero.
Exactly.
Okay, because I know you're optimistic and you think you're going to make a lot of money, but you probably aren't in the first 3 months or 6 months or even a year. So have a good business plan in place and do that.
It will help.
But this is one of the great things, and again, why you should use the agent, because the biggest mistake people do is they go to healthcare.gov, and first of all, we're in metropolitan Atlanta, so you're going to look at 70 different choices, which just can give you a headache.
Yes.
Right? And again, it's different county by county.
Yes.
Okay? Different areas of the state look totally different. But the most important thing is affordability, because if you cannot afford to pay for your insurance, you will not have it.
Absolutely.
So you want to make it affordable. And the cost doesn't change. The cost is the cost. And I tell people all the time, You go out, you want a nice, fancy Mercedes, okay, it's going to cost you $1,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if you had an uncle who said, well, if you only earn $25,000 a year, I'll give you $900 a month towards that Mercedes. You're only putting up $100, but guess what? The Mercedes is still $1,000 a month.
Right.
So it's the same thing with healthcare. The cost is a cost is a cost. Because if you go in, you get sick, the bill's $400,000, you would be glad to pay the premium. Otherwise, you would be bankrupt.
Right.
68% of bankruptcies are due to illness or sickness, and 70% of people had health insurance.
Wow.
They did not know what their out-of-pocket exposure was.
Okay.
They were shopping on price. You're not buying a shirt on Amazon.
Right.
You're buying protection for your family.
Absolutely.
Right? So, first, find an agent. Two, don't be optimistic in your projections. Okay, because what you're going to do is your income's going to change dramatically.
Right.
So take that into consideration. And when you're applying, they're asking you, when you're an entrepreneur, what do you anticipate your adjusted gross income to be for this year?
Exactly.
Well, you really don't know. So err on the lower side, and as long as you have 2 or 3 paychecks that show that, because maybe you think you're going to make $100,000, but guess what? You might only make $25,000.
That's right. It's $1 million business.
Right. So err on that side, because basically what happens is, you're doing from a single person standpoint, if your adjusted gross income is between about $12,000 and $35,000, you'll get help.
Right.
You'll get help to pay for it, and
Right.
it can be very effective.
Okay.
So if you just started the business, you might say, well, why don't you err towards the lower side?
Right.
Because the worst that can happen is when you're paying your taxes in 2017 for 2016, that's the only time you know what you're actually going to earn.
Exactly.
If you guess too high, you're going to get a little bit money back on your taxes.
Right.
If you guess too low, you're going to owe a little bit.
Exactly.
But at least you'll be able to afford it.
Right.
So that's the first thing you really want to do.
So that's the benchmark, the first step that you need to understand. And again, you're listening to Entrepreneur Central, and we're talking about the healthcare business with, and specifically about Affordable Care Act with Quentin Moses from Health Markets. So tell me, Quentin, one, again, you're not buying a shirt on Amazon. I think that was a perfect picture that I think we do. We go after price. Right? We focus on, okay, what's the lowest plan? And we don't look at or don't understand what the plans offer.
And again, these are things where you need a license to understand. So, for example, there's networks. Okay? Now, again, we live in metropolitan Atlanta.
Right.
The reason everybody's moving here is it's a great place to live.
Yes.
And you have choice. And you have some phenomenal hospital systems.
Yes.
I mean, you've got Grady, you've got Emory, you've got Piedmont, you've got all these great places. Northside. You just have choice and choice and choice. Okay. So imagine if you went into, Nordstrom's, and there was just one shirt in blue.
Right.
And that was it in the whole store. Well, if you just needed one shirt in blue, you'd be cool.
Exactly.
But if you wanted maybe a long sleeve shirt in yellow and so on and so forth. So that's what choice is about. Again, now what they call in the healthcare industry is PPO versus HMO.
Yes.
And I tell people to think about it because you have to pay for this.
Yes.
So if you want choice, then you're going to pay for choice.
Right.
And understand if you need choice. Now, you may not need choice.
Absolutely.
So that's one reason, but understand that's a decision.
Right.
And Atlanta comes in handy. Now, there's certain parts of the state where you only have one choice. There's only one hospital for 300 miles.
Right.
So you only have to worry about choice. Right?
Okay.
And other things. So that's that's like, so you need somebody to work on it. Now, if you're also self-employed, you have to think about your out-of-pocket costs, because your out-of-pocket costs are a lot more than the health insurance.
Okay.
So, for example, cancer. Okay, you say, well, your health insurance policy is going to it's going to pay for your treatment.
Right.
But in cancer in certain places, it's better in certain parts of the country than it is here.
Absolutely.
So if you decide to go to Texas for treatment or Chicago for treatment,
right,
the health insurance company is not paying for your transportation and things like that. Okay. So something else to look into is supplemental insurance that pays you directly if you get sick.
Gotcha.
And that's what you really want to look at as an entrepreneur in addition to your health insurance.
Right. Because if you're down, the whole business is down.
You still got bills.
And you still have to pay the bills.
Because 9 times out of 10, if you're the only one working,
yes,
and you get sick, or you're out there playing basketball and you sprain your ankle, right, and you're a repair person, you're in trouble. Right. So You need some money to help pay the bills.
Right.
So those are practical things that you don't necessarily have to think about if you were working for, Coca-Cola.
Exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And so as it relates to the actual Affordable Care Act in making decisions, so I'm a small business.
Yes.
And I have less than 5 employees.
Yes.
What options do I have as far as making sure that everybody is covered? Because like you said, it's an employee retention thing.
Yes.
Right? I want to retain my employees, so I offer the best benefits. Right? That's an investment in my business.
Right.
If I have people that are there and they're covered and their needs are covered.
Yes.
So what are my options?
Well, you have several options now, but it's also timing which gets confusing.
Okay.
Understand the Affordable Care Act is not it's not a public health program.
Okay.
It's private insurance companies.
Okay.
They are in the business to make money.
Right.
Not to lose
I love
money.
that distinction. It's not public health.
No, it's not public health.
Okay.
It's private.
It's private.
Okay?
There's private health coverage.
And for all of you people who want to know where this plan came from, it actually came from Richard Nixon, who was talking about this years ago. Okay. So and the reason is this private health insurance coverage.
Okay.
So you have to understand that's why insurance is a simple business.
Yes.
It's the law of large numbers.
Okay. Right.
So everybody has to be in. So because most of us are not in the hospital sick. Most of us are running around real happy.
Right.
But when we do get sick, and it's a few $100,000, we want that money there so we don't lose our house and everything else. Right?
Everything else.
So everybody has to pay in.
Okay.
So if you just bought your health insurance when you were in the hospital and then quit paying for it when you got out of the hospital, there would be no health insurance industry.
Okay.
Right? So that's why there's only a period, which they call the open enrollment period, that you can sign up and kind of do what you want to do.
Right.
Outside of that, you have to have special enrollment periods, gives you access to that, health insurance,
special circumstances.
Situation.
Okay.
But that's why that exists.
Okay.
That's why everybody has to kind of pay into the system.
Okay.
Now, the reason I say this is because if you are a small business, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it may be, and you can get a group plan, or you can set up a small group plan at any time.
Okay.
Okay. At any time.
So that group plan affords me the opportunity to provide a plan for my employees and for me as the owner.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can do that. I think group can be as small as 2. I wouldn't suggest 2, but but that's one option. Another option is if you have group insurance. Okay. And for some reason you're not happy with it, which a lot aren't.
Right.
Depending on the makeup of your business. Okay. Because very often in small businesses the principals are doing well and everybody else is kind of making a basic income. So I'm the principal and saying, well, I got plenty of money. I can afford a $6,000 hit.
Sure.
Right. But my receptionist will go bankrupt with a $6,000
Absolutely.
hit. So what may make more sense is to not offer group insurance or drop your group insurance, and then you're able to get tax credits which come from the federal government, actually give your employees better coverage and save you money.
Okay.
But that's another whole program. But they're pre-tax and after-tax, considerations, and also depending on your employees, how you might handle your employees.
Okay.
You kind of know them. But yes, you do have choices. You do have options.
Okay.
And it's affordable.
And it is affordable. So one of the things that you and I have talked about as far as the having a group plan with a really large, group that Health Markets offers, right? That me as a 2-man shop, right? I can join a group with 1,000 other people and get a better rate. Is that available?
That probably yes and no. Okay. You're probably better off if it's just 2 people, or 3 people, getting your own. And it also depends on when you're making this decision. Timing is important too. Timing is critical because if you're saying, well, you and your spouse are talking, and you're like, okay, I'm going to start this new business, and I'm going to quit my job, July 1st.
Right. Okay.
So, and that's really important. But when you leave your job, you get something called COBRA.
Right.
And COBRA is just the federal government saying, you can pay 100% of your group. And as soon as you get the bill, you go, I didn't know I was paying this much money because the boss was paying 80%.
Yes.
But within the first 60 days, you can opt to get an ACA plan, it's a special enrollment period, and you can get tax credits, and that's the time to do it.
Okay.
After 63 days, you can't do that anymore. You have to wait for open enrollment. So again, timing is everything. Don't wait until the last minute.
Right.
You know, start talking to an agent early.
So so how in talking to an agent, because one of the things it is, again, having a licensed help to do this. Don't go this alone, right?
And yeah, I want to stress that because the people at healthcare.gov are very, very nice, but none of them have a license, and they don't live in metropolitan area.
Okay. All right.
So they will tell you things that look good on paper, but they don't have a license.
Okay.
So they might not know that health insurance company A is 40% more than B for the same coverage.
Okay.
They may not know the nuances. They wouldn't know an a hospital from the north side.
Okay.
So they're local.
They're just processing the numbers. They get a call.
They're nice people helping you sort it out, but the consequences are yours.
Okay. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm living with the monthly payment or the lack of coverage.
The lack of coverage, not understanding why something works a certain way.
Right.
And it is new.
Okay.
So when something's new, there are changes going on, and people are getting used to it. And just like when you're trying to start a business and find good people, the government's trying to hire people. So you don't know if somebody's been there for 2 days or 2 years.
Right. Okay. Right. All right. Good point. I didn't think about that. They could have just came on board because it's open enrollment.
And they're reading off a computer screen stuff that they're punching in versus someone who said, "Oh, I've done this 35 times before. I actually understand how this process works."
And can paint a picture for you that says this works better for your situation versus this over here.
And if someone's not willing to come out and spend time with you to talk about your situation, and they just want to give you a quote over the phone, hang up the phone. Okay.
Quickly, apparently. So how can my audience reach out again? Let's go back to contact information, because I really think that because we've had other conversations before, I think what you all offer is much more than what we're seeing in the market. I just be honest. You know, as a small business, you know, even for me, like you said, people will tell me, okay, I got numbers. I got to get numbers. You don't have as many employees as I would normally deal with. You don't have the breadth of, you know, revenue growth, what have you. And so you call me, I'll talk to you, but you're not my primary or ideal customer.
Yes.
Okay. So in that scenario, like, they're not calling you back. Right. You know, you have a question about something that's important to you, but it's not important to them, and they're not calling you back. Right. So tell me how can our listeners get in touch with you? Okay. And then just give us a little bit of what we would expect.
Okay. Well, one, you can reach me at 404-492-7942.
We're going to put that actually on our website as well.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. And it's Quentin Moses at healthmarkets.com. Okay. And first of all, I'm going to listen to you.
That is helpful.
I'm going to listen to you, and then depending on your situation and timing, I'm going to set up an appointment to come out and see you. Okay. Okay, because if it's one of those, and tell you all of your options and all of the risks associated with the options that are available. Right. And just because all of my business really comes from referrals. Okay, great. So I don't, you might be an employee on the third level and you say, wow, you did a really good job for me, or you're starting up a new business, and some of my best referrals have come from it. So my philosophy is, I like getting paid in quality.
Okay, love it. I love that. I love that. Me too. Me too. Yeah. So we're going to list Health Markets, and we're going to list your particular specific information on our website, because a lot of times people are driving, they listen to the show on their app or what have you. Right. I want them to be able to have a resource to go back to and quickly find it. Okay, that's one. And then two, I want to make sure that they contact you. Because I really think that it's important to have somebody that, one, has presented himself as a subject matter expert first, but then two, can actually is willing to talk to you. Oh, sure. And I know every entrepreneur listening has the story of, well, I called and they didn't really talk to me. Right. We all have that experience. So, Quentin, I want to thank you, for coming on the show today.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
You are most welcome. I also want to say I would love to invite you back, because this is an enduring issue for us, right? We don't see Affordable Care Act. I understand all of the political talk, but we don't see Affordable Care Act going away anytime soon.
No.
Yeah. So that means we're gonna have to keep talking about it. And I think as we get closer to open enrollment, particularly, because there's so much to it. There's so many phases, too many steps to the Affordable Care Act and the understanding, right? And we just kind of touched.
We need to do that. And I think the other thing is, if you're a small business and you have a small group plan,
right?
You probably want to contact me too, because you're going to see, again, because of the nature of Georgia, you're probably going to see some huge increases, which your agent isn't telling you about yet.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's a real critical important right now. So we can expect an increase.
If you have a small group plan, because some of those plans are grandfathered. And the grandfather's going away. So it depends on timing and the plan you have. So if you have one in place now, you definitely want someone to review it and have options.
And just to see what your options are and what's going to happen to my plan, right?
Yeah, because we give you more options than just, the premium's going up, let's change carriers, or let's just increase the deductible.
Right.
And we have a face-to-face model.
Okay.
We sit down with everybody, so everybody's comfortable.
I love it. I love it. When, by the way, when do the grandfathers end?
It depends.
It depends? Okay.
That's why I say Medicaid.
Okay. All right. Because I was like, I'm hoping you're not going to say everybody ends December 31st, 2016, and now you're done.
Again, it's
it all
state
depends
by
on
state.
Okay. I want it state by state too. Let's just get a little more complex. Just to get it a little bit more confusing and complex. But I'm gonna have you come on back on, okay? And then we'll talk more about it, okay?
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
You are most welcome. And we're gonna come back. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a few. If I can get this to work. I forgot one time. Yeah. That was a Bible question, actually. So thank you so much. That was really, really informational. And I think that we just tipped the iceberg, and there's so much. And so we'll be focusing on
birds of a feather
things that
flock together.
We're going to encounter.
You run around with losers, you will end up a loser. Unconsciously.
With them.
Unconsciously, you will pick up their ways, you will pick up their habits, you pick up, most importantly, their attitude about life. If you're around cynical, negative people all the time, you will become cynical and negative.
Because I get to work with other businesses and help them grow. So I get to share their experiences as well. But that's what I love about this opportunity.
You gotta watch yourself. Many of us are living out the lives of other people, living out their conclusions, living out of their consciousness. The other thing is that you begin to looking at your life and looking at what it is that you want to achieve. Another crucial thing that you must do is align yourself with powerful people. Align yourself with people that can encourage you, people that can empower you, people that you can learn from, people that you can grow from. That's very important. See, if you have people around you that can contribute to your growth. When I wanted to become a speaker, I joined the National Speakers Association. I wanted to be around the Dr. Norman Vincent Peales, the Zig Ziglars, the Dwayne Dyers. I wanted to be around people that were doing what I wanted to do. I wanted to learn from them. You want to do that too. You want to align yourself with people who think like you, people who dream like you, people who want more out of life, people that are stretching and searching and seeking some higher ground in life, as opposed to the majority of people. Somebody said always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. And so you don't want to be on the bottom. See, it's easy to be on the bottom. It doesn't take any effort to be a loser. It doesn't take any motivation, any drive in order to stay down there on a low level. But it calls on everything in you, ladies and gentlemen. You have to harness your will to say, I'm going to challenge myself. Sometimes I have to pull myself out of bed and say, come on, Les. Things I know I should do, I don't do. Things I shouldn't do, I do. I found that the biggest enemy you have to deal with is yourself.
So,
there's an old African proverb that says that there's no enemy within you, the enemy outside.
I love the mission talking about healthcare statistics and how the growth of...
Repeat after me, please. If you want to keep on getting what you're getting. Keep on doing what you're doing.
From business intelligence to, nursing, to private.
If you begin to look at yourself, you've got to redefine yourself. Who are you right now? And who must you become in order to create what you want? What has to change about you? What is it that you're doing right now that would be a liability for you? As you begin to look toward the future and take inventory of yourself, what is it about you right now that you've got to leave this behind? Because this no longer fits. Looking at where you want to go and the kind of person that you must become, the kind of standards that you have for you. What is it that you must do differently? It makes sense unless you change your pattern. Unless you change the way you're thinking, unless you change your behavior, you're going to continue to produce results in your life. See, all of us are winners, but some of us are producing results that we don't want. And so all you have to look at your game plan, look at your strategy. How is it that you have been being? What is it that you've been doing to produce this? See, you're the director, you're the producer, you're writing the script, you're the star of your life. And as you begin to look at your life, you can decide whether or not it's a smash or whether or not it's a flop. That's in your hands. Look at your life, look at where you want to go. Don't worry about your circumstances. Don't worry about your age. I have a friend who's up in age, over 70, and she wanted to build a multi-million-dollar complex. Her name is Dr. Johnny Coleman. Lenders and bankers say, you can't do that, you're too old. She ignored them. That building now stands, ladies and gentlemen, a multi-million-dollar structure. But there are a lot of people who would have listened to that. There are a lot of people that would not have even gotten to that point. They would have talked themselves out of even going down to the bank to ask for it. Because they've already said no to themselves. See, it's time now. If you want to make this your decade, you've got to start saying yes to your life. You've got to start saying yes to your dreams. Yes to your unfolding future. Yes to your potential.
I don't want to feel low. Okay. And so we can talk about that.
So you've got to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to say yes to your dreams. Why not? Why not me? Don't spend time like most people going through life complaining.
Okay.
Don't try and get on talk shows and tell everybody how life is going.
And I want to
here's what's happening in the audience. 80% don't care. And 50% glad it's you.
That way you can hear, and then I'm going to start out talking about roll call, because we talk about businesses. Okay. I just talk business, which I like. And then after that, then we go into the segment.
All right. So when you know that, you don't go around and you know what they did to me. Who cares? Get away from me before they come back.
Yes. Right.
Everybody is in DC.
Exactly. Exactly. Welcome back to Entrepreneur Central. I'm your host, Marjorie Way on 1065radio.com. Coming to you live every Wednesday from 12 to 2. And we're going to get more into the business of healthcare. And before that, I'm going to actually do some roll calls because I think it worked last week. I think it was really good. And if you are looking for your business to get some free promotion during every Wednesday, again from 12 to 2, then you know what? You need to get on our roll call. And what does that mean? Go to eCentral411.com, go to our contact page, contact us page, and provide us with your information. Now, what we will do, what we'll follow up with, is we'll put your information on our website, and then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it and talk about your business. And it really, really works. Now, we also have other opportunities, as I said before. We have other opportunities, as I said before, on 1065radio.com that gives you the opportunity to not only get promotion on Entrepreneur Central, but on 1065radio.com. Again, we have advertising spots as low as $8, and we're in over 1,000 markets in over 100 countries around the world. We have surpassed, I think, over 300,000 hits on our apps. So if you're not on the app, Google Play Store, download 1065radio.com app, and on Apple, it's the TuneIn Radio, and look for 1065radio.com station. So there's an enormous amount of opportunity to get some exposure for your business, and this is what you should be looking for, right? You should be looking for the opportunity to grow your business. More people see you, right? So we talk about sales funnels. Sales funnels, you want to keep more prospects than you can call in a day. Well, how do you get that? They should be calling you. They should have heard about your business. They should be calling you, and that way, you know, you put them on your funnel so that you don't, if you don't have time to call all your prospects in one day, and that's an everyday thing, then you're keeping your sales funnel pretty full, and your sales should grow. I mean, this is a simple system. So we're going to go ahead and get into roll call. The first one I roll call is 360 Player Experience, which brings you this show, brings you Entrepreneur Central every week, and 360 Player Experience provides transformation services for your business. So if you're looking to transform, reorganize, and reinvent your business, call 360 Player Experience. We also have 360 Accounting. It's back office accounting services, and again, it's 30%. At the very minimum, you're going to pay 30% less for your accounting department than if you had it in-house. So that's 360 Accounting. We also have Hill Chase LLC. Hill Chase provides sustainable nonprofit organizations, helps to build sustainable nonprofit organizations, and allows clients to effortlessly enhance their philanthropic and community impact. They also have a for-profit segment in marketing and management. They are based here in Atlanta, Georgia, and Manhattan, New York. We have STW Services. STW Services is based in Atlanta, Georgia since 2002, providing interior and exterior painting for commercial and residential customers. So they are restoration specialists. We also have DJ Ezzy B, who is the founder of 106 Live Radio. He is a professional disc jockey, and I'm just telling you, you want this guy at your events. He is amazing. If you want to know what he's like, check out the shows on 106liveradio.com. We also have 106 Live Radio. By the way, we're looking for interns. So if you're getting out of school and you're looking for something in media, you want to go to eCentral411.com, click on the interns wanted for 106 Live Radio so that you can get some information and go ahead and apply. We also have Dream Trips Life, based here in Atlanta, Georgia. It's just a better way to travel, particularly if you're single or just want a less expensive way to travel.
You did?
Club E Atlanta. Club E Atlanta is a global networking group that helps entrepreneurs connect with both financial and supportive services to grow their business. And last on this segment is going to be Invest Atlanta. Invest Atlanta is Atlanta's mission to connect small businesses to larger organizations within the city of Atlanta. They are part of the city of Atlanta's Mayor's Council Employer Economic Development Initiative. And that's Invest Atlanta. You can find all of these organizations on our site, eCentral411. Click on roll call and you'll be able to connect with all of these organizations. So that's our roll call for this particular segment. We'll come back with more roll call. Again, if you don't know, if you're not on roll call, go to eCentral411.com, go to the contact us page, and provide some information so that we can go ahead and get you on roll call and talk about your business. All right, so now we're going to get back into the business of healthcare, and I have Mr. Brian Lacey, who is here with me. Welcome to Entrepreneur Central.
Thank you, Marjorie. It's great to be here.
Thank you. I'm so glad. So, Brian, introduce your business. You do home health care. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, and I think you have a very unique business model. So tell us about your business.
Well, thank you, Marjorie. We are licensed here in the state of Georgia, and we serve primarily the metro Atlanta area.
Okay.
It's 14 counties that's covered by our services.
Okay.
And we do primarily in-home care.
Okay.
So we will follow somebody from the hospital to their home, or from a licensed rehab center to their home, or for those who have difficulty with activities of daily living, we'll take care of that as well.
Okay.
Or if you happen to be pregnant, and the pregnancy is going difficult, and you have family members, well, that's something that we could take care of.
Oh, okay, great. Go ahead and move closer to the mic. We want to make sure that everybody hears you. I'm going to go ahead and take the music down just so that we make sure that everybody can hear you.
I can be loud if you want me to. But yeah, we want to make sure everybody hears.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
So you actually provide the services to make sure that when a person's at home and they're disabled, let's just say, right? Even if it's temporary, you provide the services to help them to mend, heal, whatever those services needed?
Exactly. Okay. What we'll do is we'll hire the caregiver. Okay. We'll go out and recruit the caregiver, hire the caregiver, put them on our payroll as opposed to some kind of outside contract.
Right.
We'll vet them, we'll screen them, and we go through a very elaborate screening process to make sure whomever comes into your home is someone that we know is safe and secure with you. Okay. And once we've done that, we have our nurse come out and assess the situation. We match up our caregivers with the client themselves so that there's an affinity and a match between the two.
Right.
And then we'll enter into an agreement so that everybody knows what the service is supposed to be, what the times are, and we make sure that that person is there every day at the afforded time.
Awesome. So it can be a short-term care, it could be a long-term event.
That's right. You could be recovering from hip replacement surgery or knee replacement surgery, or you might have been in an accident, or you might have a long-term disability like heart disease or chronic pulmonary disease or something like that, where you really will need day-to-day long-term care.
Right. Okay. And so as a business, so when did you get into this? Everybody doesn't do it that way. It sounds like, I don't have to worry about who the caregiver is. I don't have to worry about thinking about that. I don't have to go and find that. If I just call you guys, you're going to take care of everything.
Well, that's exactly right. Okay. And I've been in this business now since 2013. Okay. I got into it actually because I'm a caregiver myself.
Okay.
In a personal way, my wife is someone that I care for. We had a stroke 10 years ago.
Okay.
I've had family members that I've had to care for and make sure that their services were where we wanted them to be. So I got into the business because I understand that customer service is paramount. You've got to make sure that everything is going the way it's supposed to go. There are emergencies that come up all the time. Someone may have fallen, someone may have had a relapse, and you've got to have people trained there on the spot to be able to take care of that family member.
I love that. That's great. And so is that covered, is it generally covered through their insurance?
Well, you have to have long-term care insurance to make sure that that's covered by insurance.
Okay.
And you need to make sure if you have long-term care insurance that it actually covers home care.
Oh, okay.
Because not every long-term care policy will cover home care.
Really?
So you really do need to read between the lines to make sure that your coverage parts cover home care.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. We're gonna back up for just a second. So there are long-term care policies that don't cover my needs during my long-term care.
They could very well just cover hospitalization. They could very well cover surgery. They may not cover, if you haven't structured your long-term care policy, and I think in the previous segment we were talking about various types of policies.
Yes.
Well, if your particular policy isn't structured to handle long-term care in a home setting, then you may not get covered. The other thing, too, the other myth that's out there is that if you're eligible for Medicare, it's taken care of. Well, actually, Medicare only covers situations if you are homebound. So if you can't drive, if you need assistance with activities of daily living, but you can't get out the house, then yes, Medicare will cover your home care. Otherwise, it's not covered by Medicare, and you've got to pay either out of pocket, or you can get certified for a waiver program under the state, which is Medicaid, or like I say, it's out of pocket expense.
Wow. Okay. See, I'm blown. Wow. Okay. So there's so much to this insurance thing.
The devil is in the details.
Yeah, God, there's so much to this insurance that one little thing, and I think like Quentin said before, don't go this alone. Because there's going to be so many things you're not going to know. You're just going to know, and you get an accident. And you know what? I'm down for whatever time because I had to go and have surgery. Yeah. But I have long-term care, so I'm thinking, assuming I'm covered. I got this, right? Not so.
Not so. And you can't be more prepared for the situation.
Right.
Let me give you my own personal story.
Okay.
It's about 11 years ago. My wife had the stroke. I happened to be traveling at the time, so I was out of state.
Okay.
She gets to the hospital, and it looks like it's going to be a long-term stay. She was in the hospital for 5 weeks.
Okay.
Now, within 3 days of the discharge,
Right.
I was given a list of potential home care providers, and the list was about 75 companies. So you say, so how do I discern which company I go to?
Sure.
Well, we really can't make a recommendation to you. I said, so I have to vet these 75 companies? What if I just did alphabetical order?
Right.
Well, that doesn't make a whole lot of logical sense in terms of service,
Right.
but that's what you're presented. And inside the hospital, they're looking to try to make sure that discharge occurs on time, and so that they can move you
It's money.
for the next bed.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So circulation is very important. So you almost have to have a lot of these things in place ahead of time,
Right.
so that you're not caught shooting.
Even though it's called accidents for a reason, right?
Well, it's accidents for a reason, but you have to say, well, what is the likelihood of me getting into an accident, and should I provide for that? That's the entire insurance discussions in a nutshell.
Sure. Okay. Wow. It's so crazy because I remember years back when I had a particular insurance agent tell me that I need to have certain types of insurance. And I was like, insurance is a racket. It's just a racket, right? I'm not going to get an accident insurance. I got one, and I wasn't covered for everything. And I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute. What happened? I have insurance. I pay it every month. But, again, it was in the details. I just didn't know. I was told, but I didn't take heed to it. So, same type of deal. You wouldn't know. So you had a list of 75 providers and had no way of knowing one from the other.
No, and they're not allowed to be able to make recommendations. So I had to make some decisions as to how I vetted them. And quite honestly, I went with none of them. I wound up using a family member who was able to stay with us over the period of time, get my wife to the rehab centers and so on and so forth, and that's how I did it.
Wow.
Now, if the hospital or I had an advocate who was able to work with me maybe a week prior to discharge and kind of take me through some of my choices, I would have been in a much better position to be able to make a better decision.
And I'm sure that's what you all offer.
Well, that's what we try to do.
Yeah.
When we know that somebody is in the hospital, we'll visit, and we'll visit with the doctors. We'll make sure that we're in alignment with the doctors because their care plan is really our care plan.
Yes.
And when we are in alignment with the doctors, then we can be there at the time of discharge. We can get them home, get them situated, get them started in their care plan, whether it's medication, exercise, or some other kind of movement, so that they are beginning the rehab process immediately.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. Again, you're listening to Entrepreneur Central, and we're coming up to the break of the hour. And we're going to take a quick break, okay, Brian?
Okay.
And then we're going to come right back and we're going to continue our conversation. That'll be
fantastic.
All right. All right. Bear with us for just a minute as we cross from 12 o'clock, the noon hour, to the 1 o'clock hour.
What is it that you must do differently? It makes sense unless you change your pattern, unless you change the way you're thinking, unless you change your behavior. You're going to continue to produce the results in your life. You're almost a winner. But some of us are producing results that we don't want. And so all you have to do, look at your game plan, look at your strategy. How is it that you have been being? What is it that you've been doing to produce this? So you're the director, you're the producer, you're writing the script, you're the star of your life. And as you begin to look at your life, you can decide whether or not it's a smash or whether or not it's a flop. That's in your hands. Look at your life, look at where you want to go. Don't worry about your circumstances. Don't worry about your age. I have a friend who's up in age, over 70, and she wanted to build a multi-million-dollar complex. Her name is Dr. Johnny Coleman. Lenders and bankers say, you can't do that, you're too old. She's the one that building now stands, ladies and gentlemen, a multi-million-dollar structure. But there are a lot of people who would have listened to that. There are a lot of people that would not have even gotten to that point. They would have talked themselves out of even going down to the bank to ask for it. because they've already said no to themselves. See, it's time now. If you want to make this your decade, you've got to start saying yes to your life. You've got to start saying yes to your dreams, yes to your unfolding future, yes to your potential. So you've got to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to say yes to your dreams. Why not? Why not me? Don't spend time like most people going through life complaining. Don't try and get on talk shows and tell everybody how life has done you wrong. Here's what's happening in the audience. 80% don't care. And 50% glad it's you.
Okay, we got to talk.
You need him twice.
Yes. All right. So when you know that, you don't go around looking around, oh, you know what they did to me. Who cares? Get away from me before they come back. It doesn't matter what happens to you. The only thing matters, what are you going to do about it? That's all that matters. Okay, life knocked you down. What are you going to do about it? How long are you going to sit there and say, you know what they did to me? How long? Who wants to hear that racket? Use that energy to get up from there and move on and get on with your life. You got to learn to let the past go so you can grow. Many people never act on their dreams because they allow their past experiences to determine what their possibilities are. Whatever you've done in the past, that's not a reflection of your possibilities. That's just a reflection of your consciousness. That's just a reflection of your development and your growth. The future is unfolding for you right now. The future is unlimited for you right now.
Yes.
And you got to understand the reason, right? Why does that guy think like that? Right? How do you arrive at that point? You got to also look at that.
See, anybody can, whether you will or not. See, that's and here's a good question to ask. We are all buying somebody's plan. The question is, who's got you talked into doing what you're doing? Who's got you talked into your present plan? See, 10 years from now, you will surely arrive. The question is, where? But see, anybody, if you want to, can go searching for a good plan, pick it, and start working it. And sure enough, as the time passes, as it surely will, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, then you'll be winding up wearing what you want to wear, driving what you want to drive, living where you want to live, become what you want to become. But now's the time to fix the next thing.
Oh, really?
And who can?
Okay. I'm going to check that one out.
Shannon said, turn
So
the
listen
music
to me. There
down.
are those of you who said, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be the best at this
I don't know
company,
about now,
right?
but
your value system says you believe in sleep more than you believe in buying me. Your value system says you are a consumer and not a producer. Like you're spending more money than you're making. Why?
Your voice is not loud though. When you're having your interview, your voice is not at normal level that it normally is. No.
Okay.
And then, well, I'm just saying you, yeah, because we're recording here, and it's not going to be able to pick up everything very good.
Because you can't hear me.
Exactly.
If you need to, if we're on, you can't hear me.
Okay.
This is nothing, guys. This is just a dessert. And most of your stress is because you're thinking about too many things at once. In fact, when people don't do things, it's not because they can't. It's not even because they don't want to. It's because of the way they're focusing on what I call chunking things.
It's time to reimagine your life. It's time to redefine yourself. This is the moment you reinvent yourself.
And welcome back to Entrepreneur Central. We are now crossed over into the 1 o'clock hour. on 106liveradio.com. Again, tell one person, tell 1,000 people. Make sure that you get online. You can also ask questions. As we're talking today, you can ask questions on the chat room. It's available on 106liveradio.com. You have to be on your laptop, I believe, to go to the chat. But ask questions. Shoot us out anything you have want and need to get in on the conversation. Also, don't forget to download the app. Google Play Store, 106liveradio.com, and Apple Store, it's TuneIn, and look for the 106liveradio.com radio station. Okay, so Brian, I'm still blown about the long-term care, but I'm going to move past that.
Okay.
Because that is something you just don't think about. And you're thinking, okay, I got it. I got long-term care. My employer has long-term care. I got it. And something happens and I'm not covered, I'm not going to get... That just blows my mind. Okay, so let's talk about, as it relates to, some of the challenges that you've experienced as far as getting the word out, because everybody, you want everybody to know about it, because we all have a situation like this. We can all tell a story about, when we needed home health care.
Right. Well, what we try to do is we try to focus on our target market.
Okay.
And our target market will look like two different targets.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to the business side of the equation. When
Sure.
I'm talking to the business, I'm talking to doctors.
Yes.
I'm talking to hospitals.
Okay.
I'm talking to rehab centers. I'm talking to independent living facilities.
Okay.
So those are our targets from the business side of the
Okay.
equation. From a consumer side of the equation, I'm going to churches. I'm actually doing health fairs. I'm trying to be a community-minded individual that tries to serve the communities that are our targets.
Okay.
And although I serve 14 counties, I really do market to a very select target.
Right.
And I try to focus on not only demographics, but also the kind of diseases that are killing us on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
And those top 5 killers are the ones who need the greatest amount of help. So we'll focus on serving them in not only a preventative kind of way,
right,
but also in a awareness building kind of way.
Definitely. So you do other things. So you go into different community situations like churches, like you said, when they're talking about healthcare and things like that, and raise awareness.
That's exactly right. I mean, seniors need to know where they can go.
Yes.
Seniors need to know what choices they have.
Right.
They may or may not want our choice, but at least they know the choice they have.
Available.
So we want to make sure that.
I love it. So, you are based here in Atlanta.
Right.
Quite honestly, every single state in our country needs what you have to offer. Because honestly, we just had a family member that's gone through, tremendous issue with her parent.
Right.
And we had somebody that was vetted, that you knew what kind of care they were going to get. That's what you want. And everybody doesn't have that opportunity, just like you said, when your wife had,
That's true.
Exactly.
Yes. And so what we're trying to do now is we're trying to scale our business so that we can serve other states.
Okay.
Now we know that there are about 30,000 other agencies out there in the United States today.
Right.
But that really is the tip of the iceberg. When you think about the numbers of people who are affected by it, over 12 million. 30,000 means that you're going to have a client base of over 4,000.
Exactly.
That's a lot of business.
There's a lot of people.
So we are looking to try to use technology to be able to scale our services, use apps and wearables to be able to get monitoring in place.
Gotcha.
So that when those folks who are here who have family members in other states need those kind of services, we can help them do that.
Right, and we can refer and say, okay, you know what, we got an agency, don't worry about it. I know this is stressful for you, don't even worry about it. We have an agency you can call.
Exactly.
And so are you guys online? If I needed to get care for someone that I knew, are you all available online?
We are. You could go to www.asccares, which is asccares.com. And you can contact us there, or you can contact us by phone.
Okay, great. And then also, if I go online to you said ASCares? ASCcares.com.
Yes.
Good. And so if I go to ASCcares.com, can I make an appointment? or do I need to? What are the processes I have to go through?
Depending on the level of urgency, if you need somebody right away, you
Yes.
don't want to go online. You want to call.
Right. Okay.
And you want to call our office, which is 404-257-1608.
Okay. And we're going to put that on the website.
Fantastic. And there should be our director of client services, who is an RN, who's going to answer that phone call. And she will be able to direct you in terms of what your options are and how to get services as soon as possible.
Okay.
But if you're talking about planning for it, so for example, you've got a family member that needs help, and they're going to be going into the hospital in a couple of weeks, hip replacement, knee replacement. So you could go to the website. You could say, I need somebody to contact me. Within 24 hours, somebody will contact you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, because that's what, I mean, what happens. I remember I broke my leg 10 years ago now. But for 16 weeks, I was down. Couldn't do much of anything. I felt like it was the worst time of my life. But what happens, it was family around me.
Yes.
You know, helping me to just get up, just do the basic things. Just, you know, I couldn't get on crutches yet when I first had my surgery. So those types of things impact us all. And for an entrepreneur, you know, for me, it's really tough, particularly if your family. I had another client whose mom had Alzheimer's.
Yes.
And what ended up happening was she fell and hurt herself, ended up in the hospital, and needed round-the-clock care.
Yes.
And had the worst experience he did. So he and his wife are trying to, you know, when you go to work this time, get off. You go to work, and trying in the midst of also trying to get, like you, they had a list of caregivers, and they tried them out, and some, you know, they didn't trust them, or the mother didn't like them, or something, and they weren't really sure what to do. So they went through that for 3 years.
Wow. And see, one of the things we'll do is we'll bring the caregiver over to meet the family.
Right.
So that way there can be some trust building immediately.
There we go.
And if there isn't an affinity there, we'll bring somebody else.
Right.
So we'll make sure that there's a great fit, because that fit is very important.
It's very important. I agree. I agree. Well, Brian, I thank you so much for coming on today on Entrepreneur Central, and if you wouldn't mind coming on another time, if that would be okay for us to invite you.
Would love to. I mean, we scratched the surface regarding the whole medical industry and what's going on out there.
I agree.
For those who are in the audience who are technologists and looking at what's going on out there, there's a tremendous amount of infusion of technology into the industry. So I'd love to come back and talk with you at your invitation.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, again, you're listening to Entrepreneur Central on 1065radio.com. We have had a great interview with Brian Lacey. And again, you want to contact him. Particularly, I know there are people out there that need this. So go to asccares.com, right? Or call 404-257-1608. The company is a superior choice.
Superior choice.
A superior choice. And we are going to go ahead and put the information on the website. It's probably there by tomorrow. But I just want to make sure, I really appreciate you sharing not only your personal experience, but your business with our audience. And so, yeah, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
All righty, great.
Take care.
Thank you. We're going to come right back. We're taking a quick break. We'll come right back. That was great. That was great. I know it was your grandmother's call about she's a nurse on campus.
Oh, okay.
And she does work with childbirth.
Yes.
Mothers and non-birth. And she has a wonderful dynamic business. Again, she's still in the past. We don't look at, without question. Because on the top of my head, I had 3 different bases of ideas and experiences that I've had with friends, family, other businesses that have had these experiences.
You see, the business side of the issue is that you've got the clinical piece, and you've got the business piece.
Yes.
And the business piece is probably the biggest challenge because we're still a fee-for-service environment. So you go in, provide services after the fact. Much like legal services. So you need to make sure you've got billing procedures, collection procedures, so that you can pay your caregivers on time,
Right.
as well as pay your rent and everything else associated with it.
Exactly.
So you've got to be able to balance those two things.
Yeah.
And we've done okay making sure that the business side is taken care of. We want to make sure that we can be in place for the caregivers. Now, the other challenge that we have is that caregiver supply is diminishing.
Oh.
Yeah, and at the same time, you've got the business piece where overtime for 40 hours.
Yeah.
Many clients don't pay overtime, so the owner has to eat the half-time overtime.
Yeah.
So what we're starting to do is we're starting to collaborate amongst our competitors and say, look, you have people who are earning 40 hours or less.
Yes, sir.
They need 60 hours at your rate of pay. So why don't you let me hire them for
20 hours. Yeah, right.
And so I'll get them on the weekend.
Yeah.
They're your employees during the week, my employees during the weekend.
Right.
We're not short of caregivers. They've gotten their care.
And they're getting what they need.
Exactly.
Yeah. On the time.
So everybody
wins. That sounds like I love it. Okay. I see. I love it. I love it. Well, we're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be back in touch with you because I know a panel's coming. I want to say July. I gotta get some calendars with hours, and then we'll set it up. Alrighty. Thank you so much. Oh, it's fun. I'm gonna tell I have a good time.
Well, that's half the battle. But I'm glad you were still there because half of my story is your story.
People don't know that we didn't even talk about Medicare. Ironically, we were looking at hybrid lifestyle.
Yeah.
The rider that you put on the long-term care is actually the rider that is on your body long-term.
That's exactly right.
Because they don't question it. Like, you can't just correct it with daily living. Here's your money.
Right.
And if you never need long-term care, you have to retire. Or yes,
Yeah.
It's a right. That's why that was included.
Right. Right, exactly.
And sometimes if you've gotten into the life insurance piece a long time ago, you can take that equity that you get that cash value and just convert it into your life.
You can pull it out.
Yes.
Pull it out, but what it does is if you take universal life, it creates a hybrid.
Right. Good.
Yeah,
So you're pulling half the money from cash and half the money from debt, which makes it go longer.
Very nice.
120.
I've got to run to town.
All right, darling.
But I look forward to your call.
Absolutely.
And thank you for the referral with Vicky too.
Oh, to Bernal. You're welcome.
Yep,
Yes.
because we're going to do something probably in the next month or so. What I want to try to do is I want to try to tie her into airports.
Yes.
Not just Atlanta Airport, but airports where she can be a funding source for other projects.
Yes.
And we'll see what we can do.
I love it. Thank you so much.
You know, I did, and the challenge I have is that I have a lot of, that's a key day for me, circling the wagons with the dot. But, you know, when there's a break in the action, I'll call you ahead of time.
It's open, so whenever you first.
All right, welcome back to Entrepreneur Central. I'm your host, Marjorie Way on 106 Live Radio, and we are back. I hope that was enlightening for all of you all as it was for me. I'll tell you what, long-term care is an interesting thing that we're definitely going to have to cover again. I want to point out a couple of things that are coming up. There's some events that are coming up. The first one is over Memorial Day weekend, May 28th and 29th. There's Atlanta, Georgia Relays. It's taking place at Langston Hughes High School in Fairburn, Georgia. You can go to AtlantaGeorgiaRelays.com to get tickets. And it's going to be athletes from all around the world that are going to come to Atlanta and run in these relays. So definitely look that up. Again, May 28th and 29th. Also on that weekend is the Georgia Women's Cricket Association. It's the 6th annual T20 Cricket Tournament, taking place May 28th and 29th at, looks like Best Academy, and that's in Atlanta, Georgia. If you want to know more about it, you can call 404-566-1359. And again, the finals are going to be taking place on May 29th at 2 p.m. If you're looking for a place for your kids for the summer, there is a summer camp. It's called Summer Camp 2016. And you want to get registered early. It's taking place here at the Metro Fun Center, which is 1959 Metropolitan Parkway, which, by the way, this place has everything. It'll be from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and it starts on June 1st. If you have caps, they do accept caps, and you can go ahead and register for that today. It's being managed, or it's being done by Cambridge Heights Academy. So Summer Camp 2016 taking place at Metro Fun Center. Now let's get into our roll call. I think I'm doing a better job on this. I'm really excited about it. Again, if you're not on roll call, go to eastcentral401.com to our contact us page and provide us with some information about your business so we can share your information on air. So our next roll call business is Gianna's Creative Designs, and they are focused on creating beautiful things for your home office and gift giving. We also have Progressive Techniques. Progressive Techniques is based in Fairfield, Georgia, and their focus is developing a better you. And you need to definitely connect with Progressive Techniques. Soon, we're going to, I made a promise to Nancy Lewis, who is the founder of Progressive Techniques, that soon you will be hearing her come on and share some of her Nancyism, just some positive information that will help you and just help you and your business and your personal life, just to help you overall. We also have DJ Ross Iman. He is the founder and creator of Majestic Sounds International, based in Atlanta, Georgia. You need to get his music. Go to eastcentral401.com and you can click on DJ Ross Iman. We also have Unlimited Love and Life Coaching. These are life coaches here, based here in Atlanta. They do personal life coaching and business life coaching. And the coaches are Kim Martin and Sharonda Barksdale, located again in Atlanta, Georgia. Body by You. This is a team of awesome fitness instructors. They are based in Douglasville, Georgia. You need to connect with them. They're going to get your body right. We also have Amir Event Planning and Event Services. They plan everything from weddings to special events, backyard barbecues, what have you. They're based here in Metro Atlanta. But call Amir Event Planning and Event Services. Our Gyms is a premier source to empower girls to reach their fullest potential. They are actually based in Bremerton, Washington. And if you go online and connect with them on Facebook, they're doing some amazing things with their girls and really empowering them. We also have Total Life Changes, or TLC. You'll see on our website at eastcentral401.com. And their vision in selecting and providing superior products that have a lasting effect on the consumer health. So, Total Life Changes, based here in Atlanta, Georgia. Go to our site, eastcentral401, so that you connect with Total Life Changes. And our last one for this segment is going to be Sunrise Properties of Georgia. And they buy houses. So if your house is in any particular manner right now and you want to sell your house, then contact Sunrise Properties of Georgia, based here in Atlanta, Georgia. You can get their contact information on our website at eastcentral401.com. That's our roll call for this segment. Now, we're also waiting for one of our guests to come on. She's going to talk about the healthcare in the nursing industry. She does something really specific as it relates to women and childbirthing and all of the things that go into it. She runs a business, and she's filling a phenomenal gap in that nursing, that childcare. I think having had children before, I had 4, there's a gap between when you actually are pregnant and going into having your child and the services that you actually need at, just giving birth to a child. So she's going to come on board. Her name is Frances Coleman-Johnson. And so she's going to come on and she's going to talk about her business here shortly. There's one more thing that I want to highlight as it relates to upcoming events. Metro Fun Center, which is where we're at right now, that's where the station is located. But they have their health site is something really great. If you're a bowler and you just like to bowl, you want to get on a team, you're on a league, what have you, they actually have bowling sessions. And the bowling sessions, there's a coupon out front of Metro Fun Center. They have sessions on from Monday to Thursday from 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. They have sessions from Friday from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. On Saturday from 1 p.m. to 2 a.m. On Sundays from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then they also have it on Sunday from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. And they start at $7 a person. So if you're looking to bowl, the bowling coupon that they have, you got to bring the flyer. They give you a free soft drink, and then there's one for $1 off bowling. So definitely take advantage of the packages they have at Metro Fun Center. They also have other party packages that if you just want to have a birthday party for your kids and you don't want to have to worry about them, you want to kind of just sit at the table because it's been enough work just getting the party, party going. Get one of the packages at Metro Fun Center because the packages include everything for most of them. So you can do, they have the inflatables, a whole room full of inflatables. They have bowling, they have skating, they have food and drink and pretty much everything a kid would want for their birthday. And I believe you bring in the cake, and they take care of pretty much everything else. So you can sit down and relax. They even have music. They have dance contests. They have coupon contests so that your kids can win some more tickets. So there's just a lot, and they have packages starting at $129. So they have a silver, gold, and platinum package. And again, for them to take care of everything, let's see, their $129 package has an hour of skating, an hour of the Playland inflatables, and an hour of bowling. I think there's food involved, drink involved. So you can just come in and have a party and be good. Okay, so we're going to find out about our guests, and I don't know what's going on. It's okay. One other thing I wanted to capture on the healthcare. We've talked about the Affordable Care Act, and I would tell you, you need to get help. As you can see from our two conversations, there's so much to this. There's so much to the healthcare industry, so much to insurance, so much you could possibly miss in having insurance. Do not do this by yourself, because if you're doing it by yourself, you can miss something. Like Mr. Lacey said, if you don't have long-term care that includes home health care, well, as we've known, our parents are aging, even us. We've had accidents, car accidents, what have you, and you may need rehabilitative care, help getting back and forth from home to rehab or physical therapy. And if you had somebody there that was, doing the home health care, making sure that you have what you need. If you're not completely bedridden, but you need the help, and you don't have that in your policy, you may not know it. You just may not, be aware. So definitely don't go this alone. You want to call Quentin. That's who you want to call. You want to call Quentin Moses, and you want to talk to him about what you need, get the right package that's suited for you. And again, this information is going to be on eCentral411.com. By tomorrow, we'll have everything updated. One other thing, we want you to connect with us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. It's all eCentral411.com. And I'm going to go ahead and announce it because we have a new campaign coming up. We have a new campaign. Now, this campaign is a Twitter campaign. We want everybody that that has a Twitter account, you want to go and find eCentral411. I think it's eCentral411 or Entrepreneur Central, either one. You can find both. And definitely connect with us, because the more persons that retweet our posts, that person who retweets our post the most will then qualify. We're giving away another $200, and because we're starting in the middle of May, we're going to go through to the middle of June. So in the middle of June, our mid-month show, which June 15th, thank you. On June 15th, we are going to announce our winner. and that's $200. We don't care how you spend it. We don't care what you do with it. But we're giving away $200 $100 gift cards. And on June 15th, we'll announce who the winner is. But go to Twitter, connect with Essential 411, and the person that retweets the most in the month of between May and June, from May 18th to June 13th, June, well, you can't count. Between May 18th and let's say June 14th, give us a chance. Then June 15th, we'll announce who the winner is. So get on Twitter, connect with us. If you connect with us on Facebook, connect with us on Twitter, and it's just a share campaign. It's real easy. We've had 2 winners from our last 2 contests that are enjoying their, we gave $100 the first time, we gave $200 the second time, and they're enjoying their money. So you can enjoy your money. Just connect with us on Twitter.
106. 2 gift cards. 2 gift cards of 106.
Oh, 2 gift cards for
of 106.
Of 106.
$106.
Oh, that's really good. Okay, great. We're gonna tie you in. I just got an update. So
wow.
What we're gonna do actually is we're gonna give 2 gift cards of $106. That's it. I love that. I like that. Good thinking. So we have 2 gift cards of $106. So not just $200. We're giving $212. I'll do the math, but we're gonna give away 2 gift cards. All you have to do is connect with us on Twitter, eCentral411. And share and retweet. Just retweet. Flood Twitter with 106. With eCentral 411 posts. Also, connect with 106 Live Radio on Twitter as well. There's so much information that's going. You can get updates on what's happening when we do the Atlanta, Georgia relays. You can get updates while we're in the show. Sometimes we're tweeting. I know DJ NZB does. So there's just so much going on. We want to connect with you, and our contact is to retweet. So if you retweet the most, 2 gift cards of $106, and we'll announce that winner on June 15th. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and I don't know how quick it's going to be, but we're going to take a break, and we'll come right back. We're going to check on our guest and see if she's available, and then we'll get back to talking about healthcare.
What is the purpose of human life? Or in other words, why?
You're on Twitter? You can find us just type in Essential 411.
We never ask why.
And I've got your tweets, but how do I follow you?
Never ask why.
Because I can't figure out what to push to follow you.
Then I have to tell you a story. When I say a story,
You had to go into the link of it.
You had to go to the
even
link.
if it's a real story, a real story, whatever I speak, if it is not in your experience, it is just a story.
She didn't email
The
you,
only
right?
option that you have is either you believe me or you disbelieve. Yes?
Go ahead.
If you believe me, it doesn't get you any closer to truth. If you disbelieve me, it doesn't get you at all. So, you never ask why. Right now, you're here with life. Why such a question has come? What is the goal of life? Because the process is not enough, isn't it? Yes? The process of life is not enough somehow. Suppose you were bursting with ecstasy every moment of your life. Such a question would never come. What is the goal of life? Because to live is the goal of life. To live and to live totally. To live totally does not mean party every night. To live totally means when you are here, you must experience all aspects of life and death, whatever this is. You must experience what this life is totally, isn't it? Before you go, you must experience this. If you do experience that, then such questions will never arise in your mind, because that's not the way existence is.
It's up to you. In a world where we're taught to look outside for answers, for a job that will make us happy, for money that will make us happy, the answer is within. We already have it. We already have the answer, but will we unleash it? Will we give it? Will we own it? Will we truly reinvent ourselves to become the people that we're capable of becoming?
And so I text her
the number.
Text her the number.
Yeah.
Birds of a feather flock together. You run around with losers, you will end up a loser. Unconsciously. Unconsciously, you will pick up their ways, you will pick up their habits, you will pick up
Are you charging you?
their attitude about
Are you
life.
charging you?
If you're around cynical,
Welcome back to Entrepreneur Central. This is your host, Marjorie Way on 1069radio.com. And I'm not sure what happened, but we lost our guest. So I do have some more information to share. I also am going to highlight what's happening on next week's show. So next week, let me go in. So next week we're going to talk to, we have an actor that's coming on that's going to talk about the business. He's actually been on several shows, Devious Maids, the first one that comes to mind, I don't have a sheet, but he's going to come on and he's going to talk about being an actor, because that's a whole nother industry and, you know, whole nother business. So he's going to talk about the business of acting. But I'm also going to share quite a bit of information about managing your business. And I get to be the host, get to be the guest and the host next week. Talking about managing your business. We're going to go into some details about what should you be looking for in order to effectively manage your business. Yes, healthcare is one of those big pieces as far as your expenses go, but there's some things that I know as from the businesses I encounter that they're not looking at or taking advantage of the opportunities that are out here. We're going to talk about some information we got from the month where we talked last month where we talked about money and some of the guests and the information they provided. But how do you effectively manage your business? How do you effectively manage your business information, and how do you use that to grow your business? That is critically important. But then also, how do I develop a document that says this is my past performance, this is how I performed in the past, and this is why you should trust me to hire me or to contract with my company in order to trust me to do the work that you need done. So we're going to talk about that next week. And by the way, our actor is Jimmy Dempster, and he's been on Lifetime movies, Devious Maids, and several other original. Oh, he's on The Last Airbender. Oh, that's cool. So he's been on quite a few things. So we're going to be talking to him about how he manages his business as an actor. But we're also going to be talking to you all just about the overall process of managing your business. What should you look for? How do you identify your best business partner? Because there's some keys in identifying who's best for your business. Everybody's not best. All money's not good money. All clients aren't great clients, right? We have to look at what are our ideal clients and take the time to identify what that means. And then how do I manage those relationships? Now, last week, I'm going to go back into my spiel last week, because I think that the disease of excusitis, which I think is amazing title, the disease of excusitis, which says I have the disease of making excuses, which is why I can't move ahead. It's not my fault. It's not me. It's somebody else. It's somebody else's fault. It's, they won't let me. I can't do it, and because they won't let me. I didn't get the skills because they didn't give them to me. It's somebody else's fault. The pointing finger is somebody else. The disease of excusitis, and we talked about that last week. it's incredibly important as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, how you have to, you're going to work harder as an entrepreneur than in any business for anybody else. You're going to work more diligently at, defining who you are, defining your business, defining what your business represents, defining who your client is, defining what your product is, defining what your service is, defining, how you interact, how you relate, all of those things. And you're going to work harder at that than any other time that you're in business. And so what we need is we need to remove the disease of exercise, which keeps us procrastinating and delaying, making a decision, doing something. Stop talking about it and start doing it. Stop talking and start doing it. And so we're going to get past this disease and move forward in all of the things that will make us thrive, all of the things that will make us better as a entrepreneur, as a mother, father, person. And if you let go of the excuses, you can move forward in that. Okay, so I just got a text from our guest. We have a scheduling conflict. Okay, so that's what the disease of exercise we went over last week. So I want everybody to understand, move forward. If it's, don't put off tomorrow what you could do today, right? If it's having to do with healthcare and we're talking about the business and you want to get into the business, take that step now. If you have questions about what we talked about today, reach out to eastcentral411.com. Ask questions. If you want to get on now and still chat and ask questions, go to 1065radio.com and chat. Get in the chat room. Here's the thing. When I started as an entrepreneur, I didn't have a platform like this to ask. I didn't have anybody to ask. I didn't have a great network. I just had a great idea. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what my product was, my service was phenomenal. I knew I was filling a gap. I knew all of those wonderful things. But what I didn't do well is I didn't ask. And so I ended up losing a lot of money and losing a lot of time and putting in quite a bit of effort in this. Now, I've been an entrepreneur for at least, I'd say, 20 years. I formally did it in 1999, because it was right after 9/11. I'm sorry, it's 2001. 2001. It was the Monday after, the Monday before 9/11, because I remember being at home on 9/11, and I was starting my business. I was really into it. I was going to be, a millionaire in 6 months. All that wonderful, unrealistic expectations. And I got into, working in my business, but it didn't work for me. It didn't work. I didn't have all that I needed. I didn't have all the answers. And so because I didn't have all the answers, I had to make a whole host of mistakes. So utilize Entrepreneur Center. This is your platform to help you thrive, to help you grow. This is your platform. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with our guest, Miss Frances Coleman-Johnson. We got in sync, so we'll be right back.
Sometimes I have to pull myself out of bed and come on things. Things I know I should do, I don't do. Things I shouldn't do, I do. I found that the biggest enemy you have to deal with is yourself. As the old African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us. Repeat after me, please. If you want to keep on getting what you get.
Hello? Francis?
You begin to look at yourself. You got to redefine yourself. Who are you right now? And who must you become in order to create what you want? What has to change about you? What is it that you're doing right now that would be a liability for you? As you begin to look toward the future and take inventory of yourself, what is it about you right now that you've got to leave this behind? Because this no longer fits. Looking at where you want to go and the kind of person that you must become, the kind of standards that you have in you. What is it that you must do differently?
Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you.
It makes sense unless you change your pattern, unless you change the way you think, unless you change your behavior.
All right, give me just a second, Francis.
Results in your life. See, all of us are winners, but some of us are producing results that we don't want. And so all you have to do is look at your game plan, look at your strategy. How is it that you have been being? What is it that you've been doing to produce this? See, you're the director, you're the producer, you're writing the script, you're the star of your life. And as you begin to look at your life, you can decide whether or not it's a smash or whether or not it's a flop. That's in your hands. Look at your life, look at where you want to go. Don't worry about your circumstances. Don't worry about your age. I have a friend who's up in age, over 70, and she wanted to build a home.
All right, welcome back to Entrepreneur Central. I'm your host, Marjorie Way, on 106liveradio.com. And on the phone, Francis, are you there? Are you there with us, Francis? No, I can't hear you. All right, try it again. Let's see. I don't know if I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Feedback.
Huh?
Can I hear her?
Yeah. I can hear you. Hold on just a second. We're going to get some. All right.
When she talks, I hear the feedback.
Okay. Over there. Oh, okay. That's good. Okay. Francis, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome. I know we had some scheduling conflicts.
I'm so sorry. I know. I'm sorry. That's probably my fault for miscommunication.
Oh, no problem. Okay. No problem. No problem. Glad we got connected because I love what you're doing. I think you fill in a really big gap. We've been talking about healthcare and the business of healthcare, and I think one of the things that you do, I want you to introduce your business. Tell us about your business.
Sure. My business is multiple family businesses, and what we do is we provide educational services to new families around consultation, breastfeeding, infancy care. We'll provide labor services. So we provide those to families to help them understand the new milestone of birthing a baby into a growing family, and helping them understand the choices they have available to them when birthing their baby in a healthcare system such as the hospital.
Okay. And one of the things I think I would mention in my last segment that I think that's a big gap. It's a gap because I know when I had my kids, there's so much that could happen, right? As it relates to, there's even down to breastfeeding. That's, you would think that's such a natural thing, but it's hard and painful. But there's so much that you possibly don't know. So how do you work with the hospitals? How do you let people know or women know that you're available?
So the business is fairly new, but I've been in the healthcare field for 10 years doing women's health education. So if a mom or a family is looking for services like that, they would have to have some just knowledge about how their medication and learning to learn more about it, or their physician suggested that they go to some classes.
Okay.
So I also work at a hospital as well doing education.
Okay.
So that's how So that's how both families learn about my services.
Okay. And one of the things I will tell you, my niece just had a baby, and she does it natural, in the pool, and I'm a proponent of medicine. I'm just gonna be honest. I was okay with me having medicine when I had mine. So, but that's also a process that most of us don't know. I mean, again, all these things seem natural, and they are, but we need help.
Right, and you bring up a good point. And so, mine is not in the business of trying to get you to do something that doesn't feel natural.
Right.
If you want to use epidural, I'm there for you, but we want you to use it appropriately. We want you to use it so that you don't increase your chances of having a cesarean birth. If you want to go full anti, no medicine, as natural in the pool, whatever you want to do, we're pretty supportive of that. But we want to provide you with the information and the choices that can come up when you make certain decisions. So
right.
Decide that you want an epidural, but not only having a C-section, you may be setting yourself up for something that you weren't really wanting or expecting.
Right.
Because birth is very gray, Marjorie. I mean, none of us really know how it all this stuff play out.
Right.
But we want to know that if certain things come to us, they don't seem overformed.
Exactly.
You're able to feel confident enough to say, okay, I understand what you're saying. How about this?
Exactly.
And not only do we want to give that power to our pregnant mothers, but to their support team, so the dad, the grandma, whoever's supporting that pregnant woman.
Right.
We want to give them the tools of empowerment also to be able to stand up and say, that's something we're not comfortable with. What does it look like if we do this? So we're supposed to whatever the mother wants to do.
Right.
Just to bring them to understanding what all that looks like. What is important. And how to be comfortable with whatever decision she does make, regardless of what it is that ends up happening. Does that make sense?
And it does. And like you said, it is scary. It's a lot. It's not, it's a natural process that we go through, but it doesn't mean that we know what it is. I train on money, and 90% of people don't know how to manage or what to do with money, what that even represents. So, you're absolutely right. It is a scary time. It's incredible. So,
especially when you're having a baby later in life. A lot of us women are having children in our 30s, 40s. So our research kind of maybe they're not really, they're older as well, so they're not able to kind of guide us in the way we make them thought. And that's where school services come in, where you have a woman who is going to need her, and really a support person. Help people or I help that with Illinois.
No, you're fine.
You and your partner really go through this once at a time in your life.
Yes.
Really safe and unfearful. She'll stay with you through labor, but you're the doula, and she will help you with breastfeeding. And like you just said, breastfeeding is hard, challenging, it's not instinctual for some of us.
Right.
It is hard, it can be painful. Just having someone there to tell you you're doing a good job, you got it, your baby's doing a good job, your body is working normally. And having someone pour that positive message into you, I think give moms and families the courage to push through, even when it's hard. Just like with money, Marjorie, at the beginning it's hard, right?
Yes, exactly.
But having that security on to say, hey, this in the long run is going to be really successful.
Exactly.
The end goal, and that's what the doula is. You're supposed to do whatever you want when, families may not be knowing or understanding their choices, like what they want to do, how you know how to do it.
Yes.
And having that person there just to kind of support you.
Yes.
If the family's not understanding, or you just may be the only one doing it different from everybody else.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what we're about, that whole Simple Family Pregnancy.
I love it. I love it. Well, Francis, I don't want to run out of time, but I do want, for those, because you're in the Houston area, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And for those that want to reach out to you and potentially, talk to you or to secure your services, how can they reach you? love it. Thank you so much. I'm going to have you back on, and we're going to coordinate our times. And because we're going to be doing some panel work on about healthcare and things like that going into future months. So if you are open, I would love to invite you back on. Great. Okay, great. All right. You are most welcome. And we'll be talking to you soon, okay?
Okay, thank you, Marjorie.
You're welcome, dear. Have a great day.
You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, so we've been listening to Francis Coleman-Johnson, Full Circle Services. Full Circle? Oh, you can. Okay, I think that's right. But we're going to get that right. We're going to make sure, and we're going to put her on our website so that you connect. Because if you're in the Houston area, trust me, she obviously knows what she's talking about. It's a great time in life, but it's also one of the most challenging time for not only mothers, but for dads as well. All right, and so before we run out of time, we're going to go ahead and finish up our roll call for today. Again, you're going to find all these businesses on eCentral411.com. And our roll call for this segment, we're going to start with Proverb Shield. Proverb Shield is sports tech wear. And you just have to go to the site and see it. It sits on your chest. It can hold your phone and all your stuff, and it's water resistant. It's really cool. Proverb Shield, based in Porterdale, Georgia. We also have Giving a Hand Incorporated. Giving a Hand is a nonprofit organization that helps at-risk communities. They offer office supplies, medical supplies, food, clothing, and furniture. Definitely connect with Giving a Hand Incorporated. Lori A. Mans, she is the founder of Quality Media Consulting Group, and they are a business optimization consultancy firm. But you can connect with Lori A. Mans of Quality Media Consulting Group on eCentral411.com. We also have Sheer Illusions Hair Salon, located in Decatur, Georgia, and you need to ask for Chantrice. They've been there for this shop has been there for over 25 years in Decatur on Columbia Drive. We also have Natural Herbal Detox Tea based in Stockbridge, Georgia. It's an all-natural detox. So you can connect with Natural Herbal Detox Tea on eCentral411.com. We also have Baby Judy Dorjion. She is a spiritual and business life coach and provides a range of information to launch your business and leverage it using Periscope. She's based in Anchorage, Alaska. We also have Suits with a Purpose. They're partnered with 7 Metro Atlanta schools to provide young men brand new suits for the prom. So if you want to find out about this amazing organization based in Duluth, Georgia, Suits with a Purpose, go to eCentral411.com. We also have Nature's Pearl with independent distributor Stacy Banton. She's based in Jamaica, and all of her products are made by nature. We also have Divas Touch. Divas Touch creates handmade, custom, creative items, and they also host events. They're based here in Metro Atlanta, Georgia. We have G Mama Soul Food Kitchen. They are a mobile restaurant, but they do catering, based in Phoenix, Arizona. E-Styles Unlimited Barber and Beauty Salon, based at 6128 Roswell Road, Santa Springs, Georgia, and they are looking for licensed barbers and beauticians. So you can connect with them on our site, eCentral411.com. We also have Twisted Roots. Twisted Roots. They completed a documentary in Jamaica. They're just finishing up their first documentary, and it's the first in a series of small positive steps forward with hope of inspiring others to do the same, and collectively making a bigger impact. So that's Twisted Roots. Also, you need to get on our Writers Corner, and you can find out about our writers and publishers and information. We have 3G Publishing, Inc. Lalinda Hernandez is also posted on our Writers Corner, and Awari Marasha. They were all here for our authors panel. So if you want to get on, go ahead and go to eCentral411.com. Our time is done, and again, get on roll call. It's free publicity, or go ahead and advertise on 106 Live Radio. So it's been a blast. I will see you next week on Entrepreneur Central. Oh, I don't know music.
You are listening to your heat station. One love, one sound. 106live.com.
And I'm out. I can't even play music. I didn't even really have music on.